Welcome to History with Herodotus, where we embark on a journey through the vast expanse of human experience, navigating the intricate tapestry of time and uncovering the hidden patterns that shape our world. Today, we set our sights on one of the most fascinating and complex chapters in European history, the rise and fall of the Habsburg Empire. This sprawling, centuries-long narrative is a testament to the power of human ambition, the fragility of greatness, and the enduring legacy of a dynasty that once spanned a continent. As we delve into this captivating story, let us begin with the fertile soil from which the Habsburgs emerged. In the early Middle Ages, the Duchy of Austria, nestled in the heart of Europe, was a modest yet strategic territory, bordered by the mighty rivers of the Danube and the Rhine. It was here, amidst the rolling hills and verdant forests, that the Habsburg family first rose to prominence. The name, Habsburg, is derived from the castle of Habsburg, situated in present-day Switzerland, which served as the ancestral seat of the family. Our narrative begins with the figure of Radbot, Count of Klettgau, a 10th-century nobleman who laid the foundation for the Habsburg dynasty. Radbot's descendants would go on to forge alliances, secure key territories, and cultivate relationships with the powerful monarchs of Europe. One such pivotal figure was Rudolf of Habsburg, who in 1273 was elected King of the Romans, marking a significant turning point in the family's fortunes. As we follow the trajectory of the Habsburgs, we find ourselves in the midst of a complex web of alliances, rivalries, and power struggles that defined the medieval landscape. The Habsburgs skillfully navigated this treacherous terrain, often through strategic marriages, clever diplomacy, and military conquests. One notable example is the union between Albert I of Germany and Elizabeth of Tyrol, which not only strengthened the Habsburg claim to the throne but also brought significant territories under their control. The 14th century saw the rise of Louis the Bavarian, a formidable king who would challenge the authority of the Habsburgs. However, it was during this period that the Habsburgs began to consolidate their power, securing key victories and forging crucial alliances with other European dynasties. The Golden Bull of 1356, issued by Emperor Charles IV, further solidified the Habsburg position, establishing the principles of imperial election and cementing their influence within the Holy Roman Empire. His ascension to the throne marked a new era of expansion as the Habsburgs began to assert their dominance over the European landscape. The intricate dance of alliances, the cunning diplomacy, and the calculated risks taken by the Habsburgs during this period would ultimately pave the way for their rise to unparalleled heights of power. As Albert II of Germany ascended to the throne, the Habsburgs embarked on a new era of expansion, marked by strategic marriages, calculated military campaigns, and cunning diplomacy. One notable example of this strategy was the marriage between Albert's son, Ladislaus the Posthumous, and the daughter of the King of Hungary, which secured Habsburg influence over the Hungarian throne. This move not only expanded Habsburg territories, but also brought them into direct competition with the powerful Ottoman Empire. The 15th century saw the rise of Frederick III, who would become one of the most influential figures in Habsburg history. His coronation as Holy Roman Emperor in 1452 marked a significant milestone, solidifying Habsburg control over the imperial throne and cementing their position as a dominant force in European politics. Frederick's reign was characterized by his unwavering dedication to the Habsburg cause, as well as his unrelenting pursuit of power and prestige. As he once said, "I would rather be a poor emperor than a rich king," reflecting his prioritization of imperial authority over personal wealth. The Habsburgs' expansionist policies led to increased tensions with neighboring powers, particularly the Ottoman Empire. The Ottomans, under the leadership of Sultan Mehmed II, had been making steady gains in Eastern Europe, and their conquest of Constantinople in 1453 sent shockwaves throughout Christendom. In response, Frederick III formed an alliance with the Pope and other European monarchs to counter the Ottoman threat. This coalition ultimately led to the formation of the Holy League, a loose confederation of Christian states united against the Ottoman Empire. The late 15th century saw the emergence of another pivotal figure in Habsburg history, Maximilian I Chopper. His marriage to Mary of Burgundy in 1477 brought significant territories under Habsburg control, including the Netherlands and parts of modern-day France. Maximilian's reign was marked by his innovative use of diplomacy, propaganda, and strategic alliances to further Habsburg interests. He was a master of self-promotion, often commissioning grand artworks and literary works to glorify the Habsburg name. One notable example of Maximilian's cunning diplomacy was his negotiation of the Treaty of Augsburg in 1508, which secured Habsburg control over the Swiss Confederation and cemented their influence over the Holy Roman Empire. This move not only expanded Habsburg territories, but also brought them into direct competition with the rising power of France. As Maximilian once remarked, "The art of war is not just about winning battles, but about winning minds," reflecting his understanding of the importance of propaganda and diplomacy in shaping public opinion. The early 16th century saw the rise of Charles V, who would become one of the most powerful figures in Habsburg history. His election as Holy Roman Emperor in 1509 marked a significant milestone, solidifying Habsburg control over the imperial throne and cementing their position as a dominant force in European politics. Charles's reign was characterized by his unwavering dedication to the Habsburg cause, as well as his unrelenting pursuit of power and prestige. He oversaw a vast empire stretching from the Americas to Europe, and his military campaigns against the Ottoman Empire and Protestant reformers would shape the course of European history. The Habsburg struggles with the Protestant Reformation, which began in the early 16th century, would prove to be a significant challenge to their authority. The spread of Protestantism, led by figures such as Martin Luther and John Calvin, threatened the Catholic foundations of the Habsburg Empire. Charles V's attempts to suppress the Reformation through military force and diplomacy ultimately proved unsuccessful, and the empire was forced to grant significant concessions to Protestant states in the Peace of Augsburg in 1555. As the 16th century drew to a close, the Habsburg Empire faced numerous challenges, including the ongoing struggle with the Ottoman Empire, the rise of Protestantism, and the emergence of new powers such as France and England. Despite these obstacles, the Habsburgs continued to wield significant influence in European politics, with Philip II of Spain, the son of Charles V, playing a key role in shaping the empire's foreign policy. His reign was marked by a series of costly wars, including the Dutch Revolt and the Anglo-Spanish War, which drained the empire's resources and ultimately contributed to its decline. The 17th century saw the Habsburgs face further challenges, including the 30 Years' War, a devastating conflict that ravaged much of Europe and weakened the empire's grip on power. The war ended with the Treaty of Westphalia in 1648, which recognized the independence of Protestant states and marked a significant shift in the balance of power in Europe. As the Habsburgs struggled to come to terms with this new reality, they also faced internal challenges, including the rise of nationalist movements within their territories and the growing power of the nobility. Despite these challenges, the Habsburgs continued to play a major role in European politics, with Leopold I, who ruled from 1658 to 1705, working tirelessly to restore the empire's influence. His efforts were largely successful, and by the early 18th century, the Habsburgs had re-established themselves as a dominant force in Europe. However, this resurgence was short-lived, and the empire faced further challenges in the centuries that followed, including the rise of Prussia, the Napoleonic Wars, and ultimately, the collapse of the Austro-Hungarian Empire in 1908. As the historian Peter Geil once observed, the Habsburgs were the greatest of all imperial families, and their empire was the most enduring and the most widely extended of all. Today, the Habsburg Empire is remembered as a testament to the power of diplomacy, strategic alliances, and clever statecraft, as well as a cautionary tale about the dangers of overreach and the importance of adaptability in an ever-changing world. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.